The Dublin-based South election basically has been won by Labour. Labour Barclay is about, I keep saying the second name wrong, but yeah, she was in the Oireachtas for a long, long time. She was in the Shannon for a long, long time. I think she actually passed the most motions or whatever, got the most motions tallied in the Shannon, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, she got forced. I thought it'd be Fine Gael, so I was wrong. I admit I was wrong. She got 7,900 votes. So 30% of the vote she got. Fine Gael came second. James came second, which is a shame. I suppose. I would have liked to seen an independent, the National Party, or the Lois Cahill, any of them winning it. But again, if Labour's basically the government, let's be honest, Labour's basically the government. They're all in the one boat. Then obviously Sinn Féin, so we all knew it would be the top. They'd be in the top three. We all knew it. So Leah Boylan, 4,000 votes, 15% of the vote for Sinn Féin. The Green Party, I was surprised actually the Green Party actually topped over Fianna Fáil. It just goes to show you Fianna Fáil is really losing support in the grassroots party, in the grassroots voters. She got 2,000 votes, 8% of the vote. Deirdre Conway, Fianna Fáil. Fianna Fáil has lost a huge amount of money in this election campaign. Just to say, I've seen they have to dig into their fund to pay for election campaign because with that confident probably they could win it. And they have to dig into their money to pay for it. Because they have a huge cost to pay at the end of this. And she only got 1,000 votes for a party that's in government. Only 1,000 votes. 4.8% of the vote. And she didn't get in. And that's just a total, like, years ago Fianna Fáil would run away with it. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, two parties would always run away with it. And people are just sick of them. And that's more or less what they're saying. People are just sick of Fianna Fáil, have enough of them all together. And we see that in the next election, because it just goes to show you here now, 1,000 votes for party that's in government. And especially the amount of campaigning Fianna Fáil done. They spent a huge amount of money, and obviously they've had a huge amount of pocket on this money. On the thing, Mark's Flater, others, Duncan Smith, I meant to say that his 800 votes, 3.2% of the vote. And Duncan Smith, Social Democrats, 888 votes, 3.1% of the vote. Maria Tobin, into. I keep saying, I'm saying it right now, thankfully. So 713 votes, which is very, very good for a party. She came, I have to check my list. I actually have to check, because this, I'm terrible, Kevin. Into 7, she came 7th. Eight. She came 8 in the poll, which is good for a party that's very, very small. It's in the grassroots stage. They have grassroots supporters. They're not established, a huge established, but they are established, but they're not. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, them, that size of a party. So fair play to Maria Tobin, fair play to Anua Into. Keep saying the same thing. People before profit breached personally 706 votes, 7.2%. Peter Dooley, what was he with? No, I had to check actually. Peter Dooley, where did I see Peter? In the Independent. It says a different one here for some reason, 252 votes. Justin Power, National Party, 176 votes. So again, it might be a bit out of date. Maybe it could be a bit more now. In all the candidates, because this is the final result, but maybe they might come across one or two that they didn't count. But yeah, just about 0.7% of the vote. So fair play to just about the National Party. They did their best, and I just want to acknowledge that. And well done for one and Justin too. The Lois Cahill, Independent, 173 votes. My God, I'm going terrible here. But the Lois Cahill, so yeah, there's a video going around just when I'm here. The Lois Cahill wasn't allowed in. I don't think the girls stopped her from going in because she wasn't wearing a face mask. And the girls do like that. Girls have taken it upon themselves to, I don't know, be a nuisance. But yeah, it was again, she was an election candidate. She should have been allowed in. I think she was left outside, and I think they kept her outside, which is unfair. And let's be honest, it's unfair. But yeah, that's the country we live in now. It's just the girls just get away with anything. But yeah, and obviously too, a lot of people are talking. A lot of people even actually messaging me about this. About a video going around about what donations she didn't, what donations to Lois Cahill, and somebody put it up on the Telegram or whatever. And there's a huge, the huge debate going on in the background about it. There's a big video on it, and a big video on YouTube about it. I watched all of it. I'd be totally honest with you, I couldn't make heads or tails. I could understand what they were saying, but at the end of the day, I couldn't make heads or tails of what, what was it? Again, maybe I'm out of touch, but a huge debate going on in the background, and maybe that could have affected her votes. And I was saying that to somebody yesterday, that probably could have affected. Again, anything you do during an election campaign, even if you say hello to somebody and you say it in the wrong way, you could lose 3 or 4 votes. It's just the way it goes. An election campaign, the public can easily change their mind all of a sudden. And again, that's the thing. It could have lost the 5 votes, could have lost the 7 votes, could have lost the 9 votes, could have lost 100 votes. Yeah. So, and then we have we knew 154 votes. 0.6% of the vote. John O'Callaghan, independent, 35 votes. O'Keefe Column, independent, 27 votes. So in total, there was no transfers, because obviously there was only one seat. So obviously there was the first candidate who got to the total, which was 7,000. The quota was 7,000. And obviously that was the highest. The quota I think was 10,000, wasn't it? So in total, 26,000 votes. 26,000 votes. So that's, again, it's not as much as probably was in the general election last year. People went out and voted like mad last year. But fair play. To all the candidates, and fair play to Just About and the National Party and Dolores Cath's team too. And the same as Into too. Fair play to them. And independents, it just was acknowledged the independence, because it's hard when you're an independent. And I give them huge credit, independents. Because it's hard. You don't have a party, you're on your own basically. Fair play to you. It's just fair play to you. It's good to see, even though you didn't win or anything like that. It's good that you've got out there and you've done your best, and that's all that matters. It's a pity now Fianna Fáil be whinging about this tonight, because they are whinging. Fianna Fáil are Fianna Fáil is falling apart. Because the councillors and TDs are just sick of Fianna Fáil altogether. The leadership of Fianna Fáil, just to hell and to back with them. Fianna Fáil's just gone altogether. Let's be honest, next election they're just going to be annihilated. Because they've lost so much support from the main people in the party, people even in the government, for what was happening. Like, I know people who voted Fianna Fáil all their life, and they're sick of them now, and they're just gone to them. They just hate them now. And they're voting Sinn Féin. But yeah, that's how they got 2 TDs elected. Cavan, which I never thought I'd see the day, especially when they were annihilated in the local elections. They had 3 local representatives, now they only have 1. They were annihilated in a local Tory election. And they managed to get 2 TDs to Dáil Éireann. It's amazing. But yeah, well, it was interesting. Again, I was proven wrong. I thought it'd be Fine Gael. I thought Fine Gael would go with it. But Labour, yeah, so there's not much of a difference. 7,000, 6,000. Only a few hundred in the difference. Probably about 500 votes in the difference that got the T in the beginning. But yeah, be interesting. You never know. There might be another by-election at some stage. Please God, it will be interesting to see. I like looking at these results, and breaking them down too. That's what I was on there. Break them down. There was not really much else to talk about the rest of the candidates, because there wasn't really much happening with them. I'm totally honest with you. So yeah, take your watching, subscribe more, and bye.